No, 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 no. They said. Good. Oh, no, they agreed to sit as because some is coming late. Let them decide. That is not.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're just checking if headphones are working properly or not. We're checking if headphones are working properly or not.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. The good time has come. We are going to start. Uh, it's so nice to get such a strong and interesting panel today. And let me just try to tell you the members of the panel who you would be seeing and listening to. First, the Deputy Minister, Ministry of Investment, Industry and Trade, Mr. Ibrahim Ergashev. We have got a very interesting speaker coming all the way from Indonesia. She is the Deputy Minister of Trade of Indonesia, Dia Roro St. Vidya Putri. Yeah, they would be coming soon. In the meantime, you can see our respected panelists. We have got Dr. Kanakpan Lawaraya. She is the country director for Uzbekistan of Asia Development Bank. We have got Wang Jianghong, the president of China Cotton Association. We have got Ms. Elizabeth Trueck, the director Economic Cooperation and Trade Division of UNECE Geneva. We have got Joachim Fritz, the country director for GIZ. We have got Johan Pelitzer, the president of Airbus Europe. We have got Abdulaziz Abdurrahmanov, the founder and CEO of Centrum Holding, Uzbekistan. And last but not least, my neighbor from Qatar, because I come from Dubai, Hamad Mubarak Al Hajiri, the founder and CEO of Snunu. So, ladies and gentlemen, look at this fantastic, impressive panel which is waiting to share their knowledge. Let's grip them. Please let us give a good hand to them. So we are waiting for the two deputy ministers to come and grace the occasion. And in the meantime, I have one interesting thought, maybe another round of applause. for the national football team of Uzbekistan, who has made it to the World Cup. And we all join to congratulate these young Uzbeks, the heroes, so that they make a real big impact in the World Cup and make the Uzbekistan another one time in the global place, to secure a global place. So thank you for being so nice. I request the two speakers to come. And today we are talking about the world is in very difficult, a very interesting time, I would say. It's a lot of trade tensions, geopolitical conflicts, disrupted supply chain. So, but Uzbekistan and Central Asia is continuously giving us a very positive and different message. The message of cooperation, connectivity, and shared growth. So this is the context today where we are talking. And I would, as per the organizer's wish, the first keynote speaker would be from the Deputy Minister, Mr. Ergashev. We are just waiting for him to come and join. And we have got almost to the football team, altogether we are 10 people. So if one more person could add, we could have made a very strong World Cup team today. 10 people already in the team. So, whoa, good. We are very happy to welcome the excellencies. Assalamu alaikum, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. And we are extremely honored to have two very dynamic leaders. One from Uzbekistan, the Deputy Minister of Ministry of Industries and Investment and Trade, Mr. Ibrahim Ergashev. You may know that just before this position, he was heading the Plant Protection and Quarantine Agency and was responsible for the export growth of fruit and vegetable of Uzbekistan. And very recently, he is now appointed as the Deputy Minister for the Ministry of MIIT, as we said, Ministry of Investment and Industry and Trade. So let's congratulate for the new position to the new Deputy Minister. And please share with us, sir, the prospects of Uzbekistan. The whole hall is waiting for your prospects, for your thoughts about the future.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our International Investment Forum, especially for Panel 13. Today, global trade is going through major changes. Trade routes are evolving, supply chains are being reorganized, and new centers of economic growth are emerging. In this new trade landscape, Central Asia became increasingly important. Today, I would like to demonstrate why Uzbekistan is become one of the most attractive platforms for trade, for logistics, and industrial investment in Central Asia through facts, results, and projects already underway. Trade routes around the world are changing. New corridors are emerging, and Central Asia is at the center of one of the most promising directions of international trade. The Trans-Caspian Middle Corridor, connecting Asia and Europe through Central Asia, has shown strong growth in recent years and continues to expand. The European Union considers this corridor one of the key priorities in the region under the Global Gateway Initiative. The World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, and other international institutions are supporting its development. Tashkent is approximately 5 hours from Frankfurt, 4 from Dubai, and 5 from Beijing by air. We view our geographic position as a foundation of stronger regional and international connectivity, and logistics not simply as an industry, but as a strategic driver for investors. This means access to growing regional markets, shorter transit times, and expanding trade flows supported by major international partners. Geography alone is not enough. Investors also need predictability, transparency, and clear rules. Since 2016, Uzbekistan has been implementing economic reforms aimed at the building on open and competitive economy. We continue our accession process to the World Trade Organization, helping align Uzbekistan's business environment with the internationally recognized trade and investment standards. All key legislation is publicly available on lex.uz. This is Uzbekistan's official legal portal. Trust is built not through declarations, but through transparent rules and their consistent implementations. The World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, and other international institutions are active partners of Uzbekistan today. In May 2026, Presidential Resolution 193 was adopted to strengthen food safety and modernize agro-export infrastructure. This policy creates long-term demand for certified logistic infrastructure, cold chain facilities, quality control system, and export services. Beginning in 2029, exports of fruits, vegetable products from Uzbekistan will be carried out through certified agro-logistic centers. The objective: improved product quality, supply chain traceability, and compliance with the international market requirements. For investors, this creates a more predictable long-term environment for the development of modern logistic infrastructure. Work is already underway today. Projects for new agro-logistics facilities are being implemented in Andijan region with support from international financial institutions. In addition, the international logistics company Renews, in many regions call it Ranjis, together with the Uzbekistan Railways, is developing a multimodal terminal project in Andijan. Such projects demonstrate that international operators already view Uzbekistan as a commercially viable logistic platform for the region. The participation of international businesses in such projects reflects confidence in the long-term potential of the sector. We have created not only physical infrastructure. In accordance with the Presidential Resolution number 193, since August 2026, a digital phytosanitary risk management system has been implemented on the basis of the existing eFitoUz information system. The system was also be integrated with the Customs Committee's single window platform to enable the application of a risk-based approach for phytosanitary control. But a certificate trusted at home must also be trusted abroad. Today, we see an opportunity for the next phase of development. The Uzbekistan Digital Agro Export Chain Program, or UDAEC, together with the partners such as the Asian Development Bank, GIZ, and UNECE, UDAEC, could help upgrade IFI-TOUS to international UNECE e-certificate standards, connect it through the regional digital corridors to destination markets, and further strengthen international trust in Uzbekistan's exports certification system. For exporters, this means fewer delays, lower administrative costs, and faster access to international markets. For investors, it creates a more efficient and transparent trade ecosystem. The results would be phytosanitary certificate issued in Andijan and accepted automatically in European customs before the cargo leaves Tashkent. We have built the foundation ourselves. We invite our partners to help complete the bridge, and we propose to establish a technical working group to transform this concept into the practical regional initiative with the participation of governments, development partners, and the private sector. Today, Nawai region is uniquely positioned to become one of Central Asia's leading multimodal logistic and industrial hubs. For investors, Nawai offers a combination of strategic location, specialized infrastructure framework designed to support export-oriented production and logistics services. Additional measures have recently been introduced to increase operational flexibility and improve the business environment for investors and cargo operators. The Nawai Free Economic Zone continues to provide investors with the comprehensive package of customs and tax incentives. Full details are available via the QR code on screen and will be discussed further during the session. We are looking ahead. The same digital infrastructure can, over time, carry sustainability and carbon data. This will help prepare our exporters to the European markets' evolving transparency requirements, including the carbon border adjustment mechanism in force since January 2026. For some industrial sectors, preliminary assessments indicated competitive carbon intensity levels. In such case, transparency is not only a compliance requirement, it can also become a competitive advantage. Working with UNECE and GIZ, we intend to build a verified Uzbekistan digital credential on the same trusted infrastructure, extending it step by step from agriculture to industry. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not claim to have all the answers. What we offer is platform for cooperation. Uzbekistan continues to create conditions for the development of trade, logistics, industry, and investments. We see significant opportunities for cooperation with international partners, financial institutions, and the private sector. The question today is no longer whether Central Asia will play an important role in global trade. The question is how effectively we can use opportunities now before us. The future of trade will belong to those who invest earlier in connectivity, trust, and innovation. Uzbekistan is making the investment today. We invite investors, logistic operators, financial institutions, and development partners to join us in building next generation of trade connectivity across Central Asia. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Ergashev, I saw in the exhibition there are some Uzbek fruits on display.
Yes.
For the international guests who are still not convinced that what great quality fruits this country and vegetables this country produce, please try the cherry. It is the best season, and maybe you take this opportunity to invite the guests to the stand and try.
Of course, of course. Also I would like to state that you just mentioned that in previous my activity I was responsible also not only for phytosanitary, not only for quarantine, not only for soil analysis, but we all was with my team we was also responsible for organize and to prepare the fruits, vegetables according to the standards, according to the requirements of our partner countries. So really, in Uzbekistan, I can tell you very unique fruits, vegetables with its taste, and we have very good opportunity to develop and to widespread our export, our relationships with the European countries, with the Arabic countries, with the East countries. And we have each year increasing our volumes, exports to these countries. But at the same time, I would like to say that when I visit these countries, many countries, I could not find such kind of unique tests in your markets. So that's why we pay attention for these logistic centers. So it will help us to prepare the package, your standards, your preferred color according to your requirements. That's why we're always ready to give you all the information which is now available, and according to your requirements we can find you the partner who have the already small logistic center, maybe some big logistic centers, but they also need the partners from abroad. Thank you. Of course, we will invite you to test in the first exhibition. When you enter to the exhibition, you can see the agricultural stand. There is some part of our fruits. So anyway, we will make them more, and you can test it after this panel session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Excellency. Thank you for your vision on the future, the trade development and export development. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Then if you may please take your seat. It's a singular honor now to invite another one Deputy Trade Minister, maybe a little far away from Uzbekistan geographically, but they are also a very important player in the global trade, and they're doing a big strides in every aspect of the industry and global trade. So it's my honor to invite the Deputy Minister of Trade, Ms. Dia Roro Esti Vidya Putri. Madam, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace and blessings be upon you all. Firstly, I'd like to thank everybody here, particularly Deputy Minister, my friend from Uzbekistan. We had a very productive meeting yesterday, and we look forward to collaborating even further in the future. Thank you. And also to the special guests here today. I'm sure you have a lot to share, and we all look forward to learning and seeing the ways in which we can collaborate going forward. It's an honor for me to be in Tashkent, a city that has for centuries connected civilizations, cultures, and commerce across Eurasia. Today, Tashkent once again stands at the crossroads of history, not only as a meeting point of nations, but also as a symbol of the new opportunities emerging in the global economy. Indonesia and Uzbekistan has a lot of shared history. President Sukarno, our first president, has helped restored and refound the tomb of Imam Bukhari. And now this is the center of tourism for Uzbekistan. And we know that a lot of the Indonesians are traveling to Uzbekistan, and this is something which is very, very positive. And we also recognize that we are living in a period of profound transformation. Global trade is being reshaped by geopolitical developments, technological advances, changing supply chains, and a new pattern of investment. What many call as the rewiring of a global trade is no longer a future scenario. It is the reality we are experiencing today. As Peter Drucker once said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." I believe this quote perfectly captures the challenge before us. The future of trade will not be determined by circumstances alone. It will be shaped by the choices we make, the partnerships we build, and the vision we pursue together. Indonesia's experience offers an example of how adaptation and openness can create resilience and uncertainty amidst uncertainty. As the largest economy in Southeast Asia, Indonesia has consistently embraced an open, inclusive, and rules-based trading system. We understand that in a rapidly changing world, resilience does not come from isolation. Resilience comes from diversification, innovation, and cooperation. And we recognize that the results are quite encouraging. In 2025, Indonesia's economy continues to demonstrate remarkable resilience amidst global uncertainty. Our GDP expanded by approximately 5.1%, supported by strong domestic consumption, sustained investment, and recovery in external demand. And our exports has reached around $282.9 billion US dollars, representing an increase of more than 6% compared to the previous year. And these achievements were not driven by luck, of course. They were driven by a long-term strategy to diversify export markets, to strengthen industrial competitiveness, and move toward higher value-added production. Today, Indonesia is no longer known as a supplier of raw materials. We are increasingly exporting processed products, advanced manufacturing goods, electrical machinery, automotive components, chemicals, and downstream mineral products as well. And at the same time, Indonesia has actively expanded its network of economic partnerships. More than 70% of Indonesia's exports currently are directed to countries in which we have trade agreements, including that of FTA, PTA, CEPA as well. And this is driven under the basis of trust, mutual respect, and mutual understanding. And this is especially relevant today, given the current geopolitical situation. President Prabowo always has a saying, and he always says in any time that he has, which is that one friend is too few and one enemy is too many. We are continuously urged, everybody in the cabinet is always urged to increase bilateral trade ties with the world. And we see that there is a lot of significance, particularly in the Central Asia region. We spoke a lot in which how we can future progress and cooperate going forward. And Central Asia is no longer simply a region between major economies. It is becoming a strategic hub connecting Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. With its growing connectivity, dynamic reforms, and expanding investment opportunities, we were able to see that clearly this morning through the leadership of your president. And this is something that we highly respect. And we see that there is so much potential that needs to be realized going forward. And so the region is playing an increasingly important role in global commerce. This is one of the reasons why Uzbekistan, we're working hard finally starting our negotiation process on the free trade agreements, and we hope that we can reap positive outcomes from this agreement. This requires a group effort, and we understand that through mutual trust, respect, understanding, the people-to-people relations is the backbone of any trade agreement. And of course, we can then see how we can bridge gaps and facilitate trade, attract investments, strengthen supply chains, support MSMEs, and create opportunities for our businesses as well as our people. And so I always say this, in one aspect, the government has such a big role in creating trade agreements and a foundation for bilateral cooperation. But the other part, which is just as important, just as dynamic, is the private sector, the entrepreneurs, the business players, and getting them to communicate amongst one another, ensuring that the B2B ties are strong. This is what makes any kind of trade negotiation or any trade deal successful. And it boils down to how we communicate better. And we look forward to cooperating with Uzbekistan going forward, with Central Asia and with the rest of the world. And Indonesia always looks forward to work together. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you for this very encouraging words. Madam, Ms. Dia, Indonesia is a country which not only puts forward the slogan unity in diversity you practice in life, and that has made Indonesia a successful, the way you have successfully positioned yourself in the global trade today, and it's becoming a very dynamic trading country and a leader in region and the world. So I can see the leadership, the young leadership, and allow me to compliment for this wonderful and encouraging talk, what you shared with us. And as per the request of the organizers, because our excellencies may get some other engagements and leave, so a panel photograph with them. Let's take a photograph and then we continue with our proceedings. Okay, thank you. Good. So now we are left with very strong team of internationally recognized experts in their own field. So trade realignment and supply chain geography. Where does Central Asia fit? This is the topic of our conversation today. Allow me, as a practitioner of global trade for last 35 years, I was wondering, just if you give me a few minutes, we'll try to understand, because we are sitting in Tashkent. You cannot but go back to the history where the global trade started. It is, I am also, of course, referring to the Great Silk Route, when the product from east to west used to go through this region. And interestingly, after so many years, again the whole world has come back to Tashkent to talk about global trade and connectivity. So this is a full circle for Uzbekistan. But in between, there had been always some kind of realignments and some kind of disruptions. If we understand that when we as human beings learned how to make ships which can go far in the ocean and carry people and food, then global trade switched from the camels to the ships. And European merchants started reaching out to Asia and Africa. And we know about Christopher Columbus, who wanted to reach to the reaches of India and ended up in the other part of the world. So with that big stride in global trade came the Industrial Revolution and came the engines, which made the voyage much faster and distance became shorter. That encouraged the European traders to reach out much more to the world, and they found so much of opportunities all over the world in Asia and Africa, they finally ended up colonizing those countries. So today, very interestingly, we all of us start in all part of the world with very interesting products like English tea or Italian coffee or the Belgian chocolate. And these are all finally very colonial products. I mean, the result of that colonial time. In 1945 onwards, after the Second World War, gradually the colonization stopped and started coming the world of globalization. And came organizations, the multilateral organizations like United Nations, WTO, to regulate and help this globalized trade. I'm so happy that today we have got representatives of such organizations, UNECE, ADB, and GIZ in the panel. And when I look at Centrum and Airbus, I remember of one, I was reading of Karl Marx once. In the early 19th century, he said, the speed that technology is developing, soon from Germany to India, we will reach in 6 weeks. And thanks to you, Airbus and companies like Airbus and Centrium, today from Germany to India, it takes 6 hours. And the next generation of change and disruption in the global trade has come back with digitization. So now the market has come from the street to your pocket, and you can buy things with from other continent by a click. And we have got a member also in the panel, Snunu, to talk about it. So imagine what a strong and diverse team we have got to discuss the whole disruptions, the historic disruptions and realignments global trade has gone through from the camel to the digital world. So this is our subject. I just wanted to give out a historic background of it. And to start the dialogue, we heard Mr. Ergashev giving a very nice picture where Uzbekistan is going to place itself and its industry and export. But those visions only can be realized if there are investments coming, support coming. And here we have got Madam Konakpan, Dr. Konakpan, who is heading the Asian Development Bank in Uzbekistan. So your support, your investment will be a key support to the vision Uzbekistan has got. So Madam, the stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chakrabarty. Good afternoon. Delighted to be here, and thank you for having me represent ADB. Yes, we've been partnered with the government for a long time. In fact, last year we celebrate our 30-year anniversary, and this year, just a month ago, we also have annual general meeting in Samarkand. And as you can see from the presentation from Deputy Minister of Ministry of Investment and Trade, that we have been have a lot of footprint in terms of trade. Because when you think about Asian Development Bank, our DNA is on regional cooperation. And we have been supporting the government on regional cooperation. And right now, Central Asia is in the center of attention. As you can see that there's a lot of participants in this investment forum. But what I would like to highlight about the mood or the trend in the trade right now is that it has become more diversifying. Before, before all these conflicts that going on and uncertainty, COVID, globalization think about scale, but now many trade partners thinking more about reliability and diversify more to regional. What we see is the reconfiguration of trade flows in the world that's going on. Production is not relocating wholesale, but firms are diversifying sourcing and production to improve resilience and reliability. Supply chain today are shaped not only by cost, but also by predictability and risk management. So the key question, however, is whether Central Asia captures value from this shift and just let it pass through. In this context, Central Asia is emerging as a complementary node that is not replacing existing hubs, but becoming part of a more diversified system. At the same time, it is current role of Central Asia that play is still limited. Yes, there's a lot of talk about Middle Corridor, Trans-Caspian, and so on. But still, we are still in transition. The integration into value chain from this region is still concentrated in lower value added activities. That's why the government has embarked into the reform to get into more value addition instead of just exporting raw material in terms of mineral and also agriculture product. So basically, I would like to emphasize a few things in my message about the potential of Central Asia and trade. Number one is geography. I don't have to emphasize so much, and many speakers before already said about how Central Asia here is connecting various critical trade sector around the world, from Asia to Middle East and Europe. But second, I would like to talk about sector opportunities and upgrading opportunity of this region. This region has strong potential in resource and energy-related value chains. ADB, in recent years, we also partner with many private sector in the form of PPP, or public-private partnership, to help the investor to make a bankable project, renewable energy like solar and wind, because not only investing through the non-sovereign or commercial with private sector, we also guarantee, from the sovereign side, we also provide partial credit guarantee to make sure that the project is bankable. So thirdly, I would like to mention about reforms. The Deputy Minister already mentioned about the WTO. This is very important. Across the region, because of the trade facilitation is important, and Uzbekistan right now is embarking on the WTO session, expecting to be complete within the end of this year. And a lot of investment reform has been underway, and it has been improving the condition for the integration. So all this has to come down to the objective to make trade more predictability and make the standard compliant as much as physical connectivity certain. That's this opportunity that we see is not automatic. The trade, let me emphasize that the trade costs and connectivity gaps of the region still remain high, and that is so. That is just the nature of the country. You probably know already that Uzbekistan is the only one of two double landlocked country, which means all of the immediate neighboring country also landlocked, and there's only one other double landlocked in the world. That is Liechtenstein, but I think from the profile, I'm sure Liechtenstein is closer to the sea than Uzbekistan. But with that, Uzbekistan still government still embark on many reforms to make sure that to have the higher value of products, so that the cost of to compensate the high cost of transport. And another issue that we're still facing is the integration in value chain of Central Asia market is still limited. And lastly, the intra-regional trade has yet to be fully developed, although you can see the trend has been much better given that recent year all the C5 or the Central Asia 5 country and even the Caucasus has very, very good relationship than previous 10 years ago. So let me conclude that with this, this is an opportunity that the country will take to make sure that there will be set out to have a reliable and integrated enough to make sure that trade facilitation and corridor performance will be there. A lot of investment will be needed with use of innovation like technology, digitalization, border point crossing that need to be set up. And this is from ADB's perspective, it is exactly where our support is focused. And we have our platform we call Central Asia Regional Economic Corridor Connectivity that we convene all of the Central Asian country plus Mongolia, China, Pakistan, Mongolia and China to convene and have regular discussion on various issues, including trade. So let me close here and with my thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kanakpan. Thank you for your very thoughtful words. You mentioned about the regional cooperation. Today in the opening session, we saw a very strong display of this regional cooperation, that all the leaders of the regional countries came and supported this regional cooperation. They being landlocked, that is of course a very important role. And also I wanted few more words from you, that we talk about these corridors, Uzbekistan and Central Asia being a corridor. Now from what do you see that how they should be getting more lasting value, not only being a corridor, but an important player of the global value chain? I mean, that would be an interesting point where I wanted you to throw some light. Thank you.
Yes, with this, it's just very, like I said, it's very important that Central Asia should be aware and prepared that it's not only being a passing through middle corridor, but also develop all the industry that will create value along the way. And we also, as a partner of the Uzbekistan, we also help develop special economic zone and special development in certain sector. So make sure that the government can produce, like I said before, not just a raw material, given that it already has handicap in this country. Because as you know, the country has tried to access the WTO before, but it's very difficult. It doesn't have the same position like other countries because of double landlocked. The cost of transportation is high. But with the digitalization and transformation, this is opportunity. Countries looking to invest with investor and know-how from internationally to invest. In the opening session this morning, you can see that many industry that would have more value addition and create high value products in terms of digitalization and also higher value materials, green industry equipment or parts in the country that would help overcome this issue about high cost and not just be a passing through area for this development.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. With that, interesting that when we talk about corridors, there's always a chicken-egg syndrome. If corridors are there, where is the cargo? If cargo is there, where is the corridor? So we talked about the corridor. Let's talk about the cargo, because if there is no goods to transfer, for what is this infrastructure? So we have got with us a very important person. He is heading the Chinese Textile Association. And we know Uzbekistan has made in recent years a very big development in production and value chain of textile industry, from cotton to the finished product and export. But at the same time, China remains the world leader in creating value, and not only the value, the quality and quantity. So I think we have got few things to learn from this Chinese experience, especially the association. You know, last week I have had a meeting with the chief negotiator of WTO, Mr. Urunov, and we were discussing this issue that WTO and the industry associations, individually industries or association of industries can make a bigger impact when the country comes into new system of under WTO. And China made the best use of it. So I request Mr. Jianhuang to share your thoughts, because I have seen that after China joined WTO, associations like yours, the industry associations, came up and they really contributed to the success. So please share your experience with Uzbekistan, who is going to be a WTO member soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear friends, good afternoon. I'm Wang Jianhong, President of China Cotton Association. It's my great pleasure to visit Uzbekistan for the third time. We are gathered here to discuss trade restructuring, supply chain cooperation, and the development of China, the cotton industry across Central Asia. Nowadays, global trade and industry chains are ongoing profound adjustment. Market risks and trade uncertainties keep rising. For the cotton and the textile sector, building stable, sustainable, and regional interconnected supply chains has become a shared goal for all partners. China is a major player in the global cotton industry. Our annual cotton production exceeds 6.5 million tons, and it reached 7.4 million tons in 2025-26. We have mature technologies in cotton platting, in intelligent harvesting, processing, and spinning. Faced with limited farmland, rising labor costs, and diverse international trade rules, China maintains a long-term cotton supply gap. Therefore, Chinese cotton and textile enterprises are willing to carry capital, technologies, and equipment to compete with reliable partners worldwide. As a well-known land of white gold, Uzbekistan produces around 650,000 tons of cotton every year, ranking among the world's top 10 cotton producers. You enjoy superior natural resources and continually improving business environment. Thanks to the Belt and Road Initiative, bilateral cooperation between China and Uzbekistan has achieved fruitful results. China's industrial investment in Uzbekistan has exceeded $1 billion US dollars. Cotton and yarn trade accounts for over 15% of our bilateral trade value. We fully recognize the unique advantages of the Trans-Caspian transport corridor. Efficient land transportation greatly shortens delivery time and costs logistics costs, making it a vital channel for cotton and agriculture products export. To promote sound development of the cotton sector and adapt to global trade trends, China has launched the China Cotton Sustainable Development Program, CCSD. This program covers the whole industrial chain, focusing on standardized production, quality control. It guides the industry to operate in a more standardized, eco-friendly, and sustainable way. We are ready to share the experience of CCSD with all partners. We hope to work together to upgrade the whole cotton industrial chain, apply advanced farming and processing technologies, improve product quality and added value, and standardize cross-border trade procedures. We sincerely hope Uzbekistan will optimize the business environment, simplify customs clearance and approval processes, and better protect the rights and interests of investors by combining Central Asia's resource and geographic stresses with China's advantages in capital, technology, and market. We can jointly build a resilient cotton industrial chain via the transport corridors and achieve win-win development for all sides. About WTO, China officially joined the WTO in 2001 after accession. Industry associations have acted as a vital bridge connecting the government, domestic enterprises, and the global market. The China Cotton Association was founded in 2003. Over the years, we have accumulated rich practical experience in helping the cotton industry adapt to international trade rules and optimize the whole supply chain. First of all, we attach great importance to international cotton industry cooperation. CCA officially joined the International Cotton Committee of Cooperation, CICCA, in 2007. Up to now, we have signed the MOU with cotton industry organizations from Uzbekistan, India, Brazil, the International Cotton Association, and many other countries and institutions. Relying on regular cooperation mechanisms, we start the global trade rules together and actively promote mutual recognition of cotton inspection standards and alignment of sustainable development system among countries. We also provide policy interpretation and market guidance for domestic enterprises going global, helping them tackle cross-border trade challenges. We widely promote CCSD. This four-chain system unifies industrial standards and realize this for traceability. Enabling our products to meet international market access requirements. Besides, we keep streamlining cross-border producers to improve the overall efficiency of the supply chain. As Uzbekistan and Pakistan are moving forward with WTO accession, based on our experience, we suggest aligning local rules with international standards, improving sustainable development system, and strengthening international cotton cooperation. We are ready to share experience and work together to build a standardized and robust regional cotton supply chain. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wang. That's very important from a leader of the industry. These words. And now let us try to discuss a few rules and standards and systems without which the global trade will not be harmonized and will not be very effective. So with that, I think I will turn to Elizabeth Turek, the Director of the Economic Cooperation and Trade Division of UNECE. While we were talking about cotton, I know UNECE has a very long cooperation in Uzbekistan in the cotton field. Here I have to mention that because I think it was in 2023 and 24, twice I was invited to your steering committee meetings in Geneva. And I also had a part of a UNECE mission to Kyrgyzstan. So I have seen your activities on the cotton field. Maybe just show some, enlighten us with those activities, what you had been doing here in Uzbekistan on the textile sector.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much, moderator.
Thank you.
Let me also start by thanking for the invitation here to the Tashkent International Investment Forum. It's been a very, very rich environment and very, very fruitful for me to see. Now, UNECE, Economic Commission for Europe, is not the European Commission. It's part of the UN Secretariat, and as distinguished moderator said, we are a platform where standards and normative guidance tools are being developed. So this can be quality standards, and Deputy Minister talked about the agricultural quality standards. This can also be digital information exchange standards. These are sort of the infrastructure, how information travels along a supply chain of a particular product. And indeed, we had great cooperation with Uzbekistan in this regard. Uzbekistan generally is a very, very important member state for us, and Uzbekistan is doing a great job in two fields. In the one hand, negotiating the standards in Geneva, so shaping the standards that they fit the needs of Uzbekistan, and then also implementing the standards. And I think this is where several factors come together, and they've been alluded to, that Uzbekistan not only is geographically well placed for trade, but it also has the natural endowment for agri, for cotton, for critical raw materials, and it has the skills at the human level to contribute to the negotiations, and it even has now the digital infrastructure and digital expertise to really go into this novel field of digital information exchange standards. Now, a quick example, and maybe distinguished moderator, one word about agriculture before we do cotton.
Please, please, yeah.
Because agriculture was so prominently mentioned by Deputy Minister. So we know Uzbekistan agricultural powerhouse. In order to export Uzbek apricots, grapes, tomatoes to high-end markets, for example, European market, US market, you need to comply with the quality standards. These quality standards that are being set in UNECE, they are adopted by the EU, by the US market, and also by the Russian Federation on many occasions. Now, in order to export, you don't only need a short trajectory, but you need to be able to have the inspection and certification done that you are complying with what is class 1 apricots or extra class apricots. And I was so pleased to hear by the Deputy Minister that Uzbekistan is really now implementing this, and we are very happy in UNECE to be part also of the future project, the one on Uzbek Digital Agro Export Initiative, where we not only look at the agricultural quality standards, but also at the very important sanitary and phytosanitary projects. And I look forward to working with partners ADP and NGIZ on that. So much about agriculture. Distinguished moderator, you mentioned cotton. So what was the story on cotton? Now, we know about the quality of the Uzbek cotton. And we've heard a lot also about the importance in terms of moving up the value chain and ensuring that there is some development cooperation, development benefits generated by the cotton exports. Now, if you think about exporting cotton, on many occasions in today's world, you will not only have to have quality cotton, but you will also need to prove that the cotton is environmentally sound, not using too much water, environmentally sound, not using too many pesticides, and that there were decent conditions for those who work in the cotton fields. So how do you do this? Again, UNECE standards come in. And here specifically our information exchange standards that allow information to flow with the value chain in digital format. And we're very pleased to have piloted this with the Samarkand cotton cluster and with Indorama, where we were able to trace for a cotton t-shirt where the cotton was coming from, that it had okay water use, not too many pesticides, and that the labor conditions were okay. And these certifications and the data about the ESG credentials of the cotton traveled from the field over the ginning and spinning to the production of the t-shirt up till the end consumers in the European market. So I think here it was very important to use the digital information exchange standards so that Uzbekistan can really harvest the development benefits from the cotton exports. I would have many more examples.
No, thank you.
I stop here.
Thank you. Yeah, because I have to also look at the time. Your contributions are very, very valuable. And especially when we talk about the food hygiene and food safety, you know that a very interesting development recently that Mr. Urunov is heading the new agency, which is going to be a very promising step forward in that direction. Elizabeth, I wanted your opinion on the middle corridor also, but considering the time, because GIZ also equally involved in that kind of operation, I will come back to it in a later stage. If I could come to Joachim Fritz, the country director of GIZ. Well, Joachim, the thing is that we are sitting in a country where for the cargo to go to a cheaper transport, that is water transport, sometimes the goods have to cross 1, 2, 3 countries. So to make this transition faster, a more harmonious journey and less time-taking customs procedures and paperless trade. I know that you are working on that. Maybe you throw some light, because that will make the process more sustainable, more green, and more efficient and less costly. So, Joachim, your comments, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will be very brief, because I think we are looking as well forward to the other panelists and their practical experiences. So Joachim Fritz from GIZ, German Agency for International Cooperation. We are the institution that is on the more soft side, on the capacity building, on the institutional development side of the development projects. We are in two areas here in Central Asia, and then there is a water, climate, energy nexus, and I was sitting here yesterday on this topic, and today it's a second one, the regional trade and the connectivity agenda. And here we were very lucky that together with our friends from Expertise France, we got from the EU the Commission to support the Trans-Caspian Corridor initiative with the soft connectivity. And this is, I think I don't have to elaborate here, a first reaction to any connectivity is hard infrastructure. We need to build the roads, the railways, and the logistics hubs and so on, but we are looking into the soft factors. And the basic issue about this is that the middle corridor will only be an alternative when we hear if the speed is competitive. And for this speed, it's obvious what you need. You need exactly what has been said, the simplified procedures, you need digital documents, you need basically interoperable data standards. And this is not trivial, because we are talking with 5 countries who are only recently kind of adopting a joint agenda in the green transformation, in being a region, and now connecting as a region to the rest of the world. We heard this morning the president how is already outreaching to Caucasus and to other areas. So it's a speed process in itself institutionally, but now how to make all the instruments speedy. And what a coincidence that we were working for a while already on e-phyto, exactly this e-phytosanitaria digital documents, which the deputy minister mentioned. And this is one of the most important. If you have seen here the borders, you see the trucks standing there. And then you see the trucks that have these products, and they are all cooling trucks. And then you see that they're standing hours and hours and eventually days in front of the borders. Then you understand why e-phyto and digitalization is so important. And I give you a second aspect. This is not good for the environment. So the corridor has to be a green corridor. You can't believe how many emissions, how much is the environmental aspect of all these initiatives. So I think I can cut it here short, and we are all on the same page. Working on all these e-documents is fundamentally important. How do we do that? And how do we get the cooperation going? All the technology, all the platforms and so on, this is very important and hard work of the experts. But communication is key. So who talks to whom? And this we have for a while already worked on national trade facilitation committees, which have now converted into a regional platform of trade facilitation committees. And this is a platform where we discuss in a working group or support the discussion between the various stakeholders, and you can't believe how complex this is. It's not only the customs and the border agencies, these are primarily, but there are so many ministries of economy and so many procedural players in this field that it's not easy to coordinate that. Most important is, what we learned is, all this have not listened enough to the private sector. This was the biggest lesson learned for many years. The issues were there, and then we discussed in many meetings, but amongst the governments, how can we improve that? And only since I think a year or two, the trade facilitation committees have opened up to private sector, and I would invite really everybody here to connect to these kind of initiatives. So just two examples, the third one is the most important for us, capacity building. We have seen, and I would like to hear the voice of my co-panelists, how they see the capacity challenge. We see it big. The logistics sector needs really highly qualified people. This is not an easy task to just move one box from A to B. Logistics is a real tough business where you need qualified skills. We have trained the first 425 experts in logistics and so on, but more important is that all the countries adapt the same standards, the same curricula, and the same quality of their formation. So this on the Trans-Caspian corridor. I could elaborate 2 minutes on the GSP Plus, the general system of preferences for the EU, but Elizabeth,
Yes,
thank you for mentioning that.
Time is short, but very important for me on
Okay.
the GSP Plus, if I may ask, because of the current little extra cost what Uzbekistan pays to take the goods to the European market because of the truck transportation. But GSP Plus gives them a window that no transport duty, no customs duty. And what I see that it is only available till 2027. You are working on it. Is it going to be extended?
I can, if you want, I ask the president who's visiting in this moment if he has any further information. I don't have that. It would be very good if it could be extended, because I think what we have learned in training 400 or 500 entrepreneurs is that they're only starting to get used to this kind of thinking. You know, not that the production and sending, that's it. You have to think from the consumer. And Elizabeth said everything about the now very critical European consumer. You know, if go to a shop and you know that exactly, they look first, not in the model, in the whatever, in the beauty of the color, they look into the label. And if the label says this is not organic, then they don't put it on their baby. So learning this for the GSP Plus as the most important entrepreneur task, to listen to the market. This is what we learned in these trainings. Many more, but I think I can leave it here.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your contribution. Now, we have been talking about the road transport, road corridors. Now, we have got two very distinguished players who flies. So, coming back to Airbus. Yeah, what we see being for some sensitive cargo, for some value-added cargo, for a landlocked country, this air connectivity is very important. And Uzbekistan has got a aspiration to be a hub to the west and east. Maybe Mr. Joachim, Johan Pellissier, the President, Airbus Europe. Please share your thoughts on that. Thank you very much.
So many thanks. Good afternoon to everybody. It's a pleasure to be back to Tashkent. It's my third participation to the TIFF, and I'd like to thank for this invitation on behalf of Airbus. So definitely, you speak about a landlocked region, but actually I think we can speak today about a new air-linked center. Mm-hmm. And the Airbus fleet technology has turned this geographic advantage into an economic reality. We started the partnership between Airbus and Uzbekistan with the first delivery of the A310 in 1993, so finally not so long ago, around 30 years back. And when you look at today, we already have 50 aircraft out of the 80 that you have operated by the Uzbek airlines that are from Airbus. And what is quite astonishing is to see that actually our A320 family is equipping all of your airlines, not only the state-owned one with who we have started the collaboration 30 years ago, but also some other airlines that came very lately with an amazing growth story, showing that the top leadership of your country has indeed bear a lot of fruits, and a lot of people came, entrepreneurs, to invest. And I will not speak on behalf of Abdulaziz, who will speak after, but it's a great example of a very fast growing connectivity airline. And one thing that I mentioned, fleet technology has evolved indeed in order to really take benefit of your region and connect as much as we can. How did we do that? You see on this picture the 320 family, which has been launched already since several decades already, came with some new engine options in order to consume less, to be more competitive, but also to start our decarbonization journey, which is so important at Airbus. But at the same time, we have also extended the range of the aircraft, and now you can connect Tashkent and Central Asia to the very west part of Europe, but also to Asia. And here is the XLR, so the extra long range, which is a very new product in operation only since less than 2 years. It was first operated by Iberia to cross the Atlantic for some connectivity using single aisle. And now, since last year, you have Canot Shark, another new player here in Uzbekistan, who is using this XLR. And I was pleased to see the Minister of Indonesia. We don't have yet a route from Tashkent to Jakarta or to Bali, but the XLR can make it happen. So that's really a way to be more resilient and bring a competitive solution in order to continue this big growth that we see for the connectivity. Now moving to the air cargo. I think the citation was, the best way to prepare the future is to create it. So we came during the COVID, which was a very difficult period for our customers, the airlines, but also at Airbus, with the idea to use a very successful wide-body product, the A350, for which we have registered an amazing number of orders in the past 3 years, to transform it into a cargo. Why? Because we see the cargo globally booming. You see here, we have a demand for, in the next 2 decades, for around 3,500 freighters, which means that the global demand now is to deliver 2,600 freighters, which is huge. So it will not come only with new builds. We and our competitors are also transforming some existing products. Here we speak about the 320 again, family that can be transformed as a freighter. We can speak also about the 330 that can be also transformed as a passenger to freight. By the way, those two products are already in operation in Uzbekistan. So in terms of fleet commonality and fleet support, they are excellent airplanes to be transformed as a cargo, as a freighter. But when I say we want to create the future, we came with the idea of using the 350 as a new build to do a 350 freighter. And here again, it's, I think it will really enable to transform in the very large freighter in terms of range, but also in terms of size, the way cargo is transported. And as a matter of fact, being a new player with a 350 freighter, as of today, we already have more than 14 operators having ordered the 350 freighter in more than 100 units. And I think the latest big success was Atlas, an operator of the biggest fleet of 747 freighter. They have opted also to go to the 350 freighter. It's not yet in operation. Now it's getting out of our production. And it will be in operation after certification, the target being by end of next year. So we are there, and the message here with Uzbekistan is definitely we see a big possibility for Central Asia and for Tashkent, Uzbekistan, to play a role in the cargo. We are not yet there, but we at Airbus would like to accompany that transformation because we see a big potential indeed taking this geographical position of Uzbekistan. I stop there. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You see, with such strong panelists, 1.5 hours should be with everybody individually. But unfortunately, I have to look at the time. And the next speaker gives me a very big pleasure to introduce you, because we are talking about the foreign investors mostly, but here is an example of a domestic investor. Always the foreign investors get encouraged when they see that domestic investments are strong. And so I invite Mr. Abdulaziz Abdurrahmanov, the founder and CEO of Centrum Holding. And I will immediately, you will present your projects. But one thing I always hear, because I am currently doing a project for the administration of the president on a strategy of the export of fruits and vegetables. I was in Samarkand and Valley. Everywhere they say that we need more effective air connectivity, because in Dubai I get to Uzbek cherry only by air. So a lot of expectation from the industries for you, Mr.
Exactly.
Abdulaziz. So the stage is yours.
Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Regarding the improvement of the infrastructure with the perishable, we are dealing with it now on the infrastructure cold chains between the airports and connecting them by 3PL and keeping them, and we are hardly working on it. Let me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce about our company. Global trade is being redrawn before our eyes now. So companies are diversifying supply chains, building resilience and searching for new logistic corridors. That shift creates unique opportunities for Central Asia. Uzbekistan sits at the crossroads, or east and west and north and south. But geography alone is not enough. The real question is how we do run location into economic value. So our answer is simple, through the modern multimodal logistic infrastructures from which we started our conversation. Today I would like to show you why we believe this opportunity is real and why it is happening now and why Centrum Holding is uniquely positioned to capture it. So before discussing the opportunity, let me briefly introduce about the Centrum Holding. Over the last few years, we have built one of the largest private logistic and aviation platform in Central Asia. So today we operate 26 aircrafts, employ more than 5,000 people, manage over 1,000 transport assets. So most importantly, we already own and operate logistic infrastructure, including Uzbekistan's largest dry port platform. So we are not looking at this opportunity as observers, we are already active participants. Our story demonstrates what is possible in Uzbekistan. So we started from a single air cargo logistic business and systematically expanded into ground logistic, including terminals, warehousing, rolling stock, and passenger aviation. And here I can see our partners, Airbus, who is supporting with the wonderful aircrafts, with the wonderful, and I can see my colleagues from Boeing Corporation. Yeah. Thanks for them as well. The result is a diversified platform that has delivered strong double-digit growth while remaining virtually cash debt-free business. So for investors, that is an important signal, growth supported by execution, not leverage. Yeah? And we believe the next growth chapter is still ahead of us. Our advantages are straightforward. We combine three things that rarely exist together. First is a scale, second is a diversification, third, an execution capability. We operate across air, rail-linked logistics, trucking, warehousing, and passenger aviation that allows us to serve customers across the entire supply chain while reducing dependence on any single market segment. This slide shows the network we have already built. Yeah? Cargo represents roughly 2/3 of our business and remains our primary growth engine. Our routes connect Uzbekistan with major trade flows across Asia, Europe, and Middle East. As global supply chain becomes more diversified, the value of this connection continues to increase. So, and that brings to us, perhaps Uzbekistan's greatest advantage location. Tashkent occupies a strategic position between some of the world's largest markets. Whether by air, rail, road, Uzbekistan sits directly on the shortest trade routes connecting Asia and Europe. The new Tashkent airport strengthens and advantage even further, but successful logistic hubs are not built around airport alone. They are built around ecosystem, and that is where the next opportunity emerges. The numbers on this slide tell a very simple story. Demand is growing rapidly, yeah? Supply is not keeping up. Compared with the regional benchmarks, Uzbekistan remains significantly underserved in modern logistic and real estate. Here you can see the comparison of for per square meter, yeah, U.S. citizen has on the U.S. territory, and for per square meter, how much Uzbek citizenship compared with the lines of the countries. So, regional air cargo hub benchmarks. So we look at the successful logistic hubs, Dubai, Istanbul, or our neighbor Almaty. We see the same pattern, yeah? Cargo growth follow infrastructure, not the other way around. As Tashkent develops its airport capacity, dedicated cargo facilities and logistic infrastructure must grow alongside it. The question is not whether demand will come, the question is whether infrastructure will be ready to do it. Air cargo is important for this region, but ground logistic is ever larger. In fact, cargo volumes moving by road and rail are roughly 7 times greater than air freight. Tashkent already has a strong rail foundation and sits at the heart of the middle corridor. This creates an opportunity to connect air, rail, and road into a single integrated logistic ecosystem, and that leads directly to our investment thesis. This is the core of our vision. Today, 3 major infrastructure developments are converging around Tashkent: a new international airport, a modern road network, and an established railway system. What is missing? The operational layer connecting them all. That layer is a modern dry port, not simply a warehouse, but a multimodal logistic platform where cargo can be handled, consolidated, stored, cleared, and redistributed efficiently. For business, this means lower logistic cost. For Uzbekistan, it means stronger competitiveness. Let me leave without 3 messages here on my topic. First, global supply chain are changing. Second, Uzbekistan is exceptionally well positioned to benefit from that change. And third, Centrum Holding has already built the platform, expertise, and operating capability required to help make it happen. We believe the development of a modern dry port ecosystem around Tashkent can become a defining logistic project for the next decade. And we invite investors, partners, and stakeholders to join us in shaping that future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abdulaziz. You not only demonstrated what you have done, you have invited everybody to the next potential project, that is the dry port around Tashkent. It's a very good invitation. please get involved. And last but Hamad Mubarak Al Hajeri, the founder and Hajri, the founder and CEO of Snunu. I just came to know the word Snunu in Arabic means a bird which moves very fast, and that's what he does in the digital world. He's a regional leader there with his leading technology platform offering e-commerce, logistics, and delivery and lifestyle services. So, of course, we would love to listen to your success story. And also, if you could add that what this aspiring young country like Uzbekistan can learn from your experience, not to blindly follow, but to adapt. Please, Habibi. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So happy to be invited for Tashkent International Investment Forum. It's my pleasure to be with exceptionals, co-panelists from different backgrounds. And I would say first, what is Sununu? It's GCC first super app. We deliver everything with 20 minutes. You want iPhone, you get it in 20 minutes. You want your grocery, you get it in 20 minutes. Every single service you want it in 20 minutes. But how this new movement in consumer technology is changing the whole supply chain and trade market. If you think about it, you may think that this market is getting bigger because there is population number is increasing, but that's not only one. Consumer behavior is changing because of technology and innovation. I'll give you one number. Online retail market at 2014 was $1.5 trillion. Last year, it was $4.5 trillion. By 2029, it will be $7 trillion. Because an app like Sununu, before the parents was buying, before the apps, they were buying toys once per month. Now the kids want a toy once every week. And the women want cosmetic 3 times per week. So the consumer overall make this market bigger and bigger and bigger. But there is another change in the market as well. As you can see, when my colleague Abdul Aziz showed the majority of the fulfillment center warehouse, where is it? It's in USA, it's in Germany, and little few in this region. But why? Because the consumer before was fine to wait 7-8 days for the product to come. Today is changing. The consumer want the product to come maximum 48 hours. In fact, if Sunun exists in your market, you're going to get it in 30 minutes. But this is what we see where the market is going. And thanks to our friends Airbus, Boeing, now there is air cargo. And here is the thing, yeah? Why Uzbekistan is the best candidate for the whole movement of the change on consumer behavior and the supply chain. The location is, of course, very important. Now it's delivered by air cargo in 3 to 4 hours in more than 5 billion people from Tashkent. That's a competitive advantage for Uzbekistan that no one have it. Is that enough? Is the geography factor and the weather? Because also weather is good here. There is no surprises. There is no sandstorm or snowstorms here. Also, I would say there is Uzbekistan also a culture middle corridor. It's a connection between many civilizations. It's a connection of Central Asia civilization. It's a connection with Islamic civilization. It's connection with Asian and East civilization. It's connected with Kazakhstan, Russia, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, all these countries. It's in the middle of where everything is happening. And that's a competitive advantage. But the third factor also, the political situation of Uzbekistan. I believe Uzbekistan, as Her Excellency from Indonesia said, one enemy is many. They don't have enemies. They are in good terms with everyone around. And that's very important for any investor. And today I'm here not as founder of the First Unicorn of Qatar. I'm here also as an investor on many applicants, because this logistic movement is just the operation system. There is the apps. What is the apps? The technology, the companies, the founders, the entrepreneur who are going to make all the system is functional. And that's the thing. This I believe this is a big opportunity for Uzbekistan to develop a new way of logistic. But I believe the last is because the Uzbek person. I'm lucky to have a team of my best engineer are here in Tashkent. And Uzbek people are totally different people. They have determination. They work very hard. They have discipline. They have very high ethical standards at work. And even founders, I like to invest on founder from Uzbekistan because I see the hunger and the desire to be champion and build something great. This is a character that we are looking for. So investment, framework, all this is important, but also the human, that we're going to put all our hopes, all our investment on that human, that's very important. And we see this potential on Uzbek people. I think I'm going to end it so I don't get you nervous. So, thank you, and I wish you all the best on the forum.
Very good, because if you, to support your thoughts, the demography of this country supports it, so youthful, and youth naturally is digitally native, and the education system here makes them very strong mathematically. So you have got all many talents.
I just want your information. There is something called the competitive advantage of the last mover. Now all the apps, all the technology should be AI native. So because AI native, now Uzbekistan have an advantage and opportunity and golden opportunity to take over the next era of technology.
Wow, thank you. So look at this, so many invitations to cooperation and future growth. So what we saw in this journey, ladies and gentlemen, starting from camel to Snunu, every time trade, geopolitics changed. Change is the only constant in the world. But only two things which still kept us alive and kept us moving. One is trade, the other is love. So let's trade, let's love. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and the audience, fantastic audience. Thank you very much for all the patience. And it had been a fantastic 1.5 hours journey with all these great speakers and experts on their own field. Rahmat, thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.